Most family farm operations will be able to survive 2024, but 2025, that's going to be a different story. I truly feel that 2025 is going to be the year of reckoning for the average family farm operation. And every single decision made in the past 5 to 6 years is going to come to bite them in the ass. Now, inside today's video, we're going to talk about those decisions and ultimately how you can combat them going into 2025. So let's get to it. So my friends, right now, a majority of family farm operations and specifically the business owners there are feeling the weight of the world on their shoulders. Now, you see, we made all these decisions in 2024, and ultimately December is where they start to feel the fear of what those decisions are going to turn out to result in inside of their operation. And now again, a majority of family farm operations are going to be able to survive 2024 simply because their bank is going to be able to restructure notes, restructure losses, and things like that. But 2025, my friends, the number one reason I say that it is going to be the year of reckoning is because most family farm operations aren't going to have the equity to be able to restructure once again. Now, unless grain prices increase dramatically going into this next year and really the next 12 to 18 months here, the reality is we're going to see a lot of family farm operations unfortunately having to close their doors. Now, from 2017 to 2022, we saw roughly 150,000 family farm operations have to go out of business. And the reality is it's those decisions that were made in the good years that are ultimately sinking people in the bad years. And this isn't anything new. We've seen this time and time again, but right now, a lot of people are starting to recognize, crap, I shouldn't have made those decisions in 21 and 22. I shouldn't have bought the equipment. I shouldn't have bought the ground at 4% interest rates for 20 years or 30 years. And I shouldn't have made the decision based on what grain prices were then. I should have calculated in the cyclical nature of the farm economy and grain prices that we are going to inevitably deal with each decade or every 2 decades or whatever that is there. A majority of people were reactionary with those decisions that they made in 21 and 22, and they're feeling that weight right now. And the thing is, the way I like to describe this to our customers is that weight is like a wolf, right? And as the year goes on, that wolf is getting closer and closer to you to the point where you can feel like its breath on your neck and you just feel everything about it. This is a tough conversation, guys, because a lot of people, their holidays are going to be ruined simply because they can't deal with the stress and anxiety and this weight that is just bearing down on them. They know they have holes in the operation. They know they're going to have to face all of these decisions. And the deepest fear that a lot of these people have is they do not want to be the one that loses the family farm operation, right? If you're first generation, obviously you don't want to lose everything you've really worked your entire life to build. If you're second, third, or fourth generation and you really care about legacy, you're not only feeling the weight because of the work that you've done, but you're feeling the weight of your dad, your grandfather, your great grandfather. All their work is literally on your shoulders, and you are extremely scared of being the generation that loses it all. And I totally get it. And we've dealt with this time and time again with customers coming into Legacy Farmer that have the same fear. And it's hard to describe unless you've actually experienced it, right? And again, that weight, it can literally crush a person mentally and destroy them if they do not know how to handle it correctly. Now, guys, I talked a lot about this wolf that you feel is like hunting you. And I want to talk about how do you combat the wolf, right? How do you ultimately kill the wolf behind you? Guys, for a lot of our customers here, it's literally getting structure and organization with their finances. Now, you need to understand here, this financial disorganization or chaos or just not knowing where you're at financially, it is going to create problems not only inside the business, that's obvious, but as a business owner, it is going to just cascade these problems into other areas of your life. And inside of Legacy Farmer, we talk about a concept called Core 4. And Core 4 is talking about body, being, balance, and business. Body is obviously how you're treating yourself physically, right? And your nutrition and stuff like that. Being is going to be your connection to God, your purpose, and ultimately your stories that consume your mind on a daily basis. And then balance is going to be your marriage, your relationship with your kids, and any other key relationships in your life. And when the business is not on point financially and you have all these holes and you feel the wolf breathing on your neck and you know that you're like right there to losing everything, it is going to breed absolute chaos and destruction in every other area of your life. And I say that, guys, because I experienced that myself as well. 2016, 2017, 2018, my entire life was a shit show because I was failing financially and I did not know how to fix it. And at the end of the day, I did not feel that as a man, I was providing and protecting for my family at the level that I should have been. And that weight there, again, unless you go through it, it's hard to describe how much that impacts a man or business owner today, right? I'm just speaking from a man's perspective because obviously I'm a man. I know the weight that I felt in and I hated it. I never want to go back to that place. But again, the reason I share this with you is because it is impacting you not only in the business, but destroying every other area of your life as well. And a lot of you right now that are watching this video, you are seeing this. right? You're experiencing this maybe right now. And so the entire reason I brought that up is because, guys, just simply having structure and organization with your numbers for the first time in your life, feeling like, hey, I got a hold of this thing a little bit, the stress, the anxiety, the destruction in those other areas of life drops dramatically. And I'm trying to put emphasis on that because I've literally worked with hundreds of family farm operations across the country. I've seen this time and time again. Just the release, like you finally don't feel like you're carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders, and it's like, shit, I can finally breathe a little bit. Like I can finally sleep for 7 hours for the night or whatever that is, versus waking up at 2 a.m. not being able to sleep because you all the stress and everything, your mind starts working at that time, you're just staring at the ceiling, and all that weight there causes you to get up, and now you're going to go put in another 18 20 hour days. And some of the stuff that you're going to do for the day is beneficial, some of it's just busy work just to keep your mind busy, and now you're going to sacrifice time with your family. You're not going to take care of your body. The stories that are consuming your mind are literally destroying you internally, and that's it. The reason I say that is because, man, I've led people through that so many times, but also too, that was my life as well. And so when you just get simple structure and organization, my friends, I can promise you it's just going to have such massive benefits in every other area of your life as well, which then is going to positively impact everybody else in your life, like your wife or like your kids or like your family members, whatever that is for you. It's just going to have positive net benefits all the way around. So guys, going into 2025, you ultimately are going to have a decision to make, and that is whether or not you're going to let the wolf win or you're going to turn around and fight. Okay. And so for a lot of people, 2025 is going to be a determining year on literally the future of their family farm operation and that legacy and whether or not it's going to be there for the next generation. And so if you're at this crossroads right now where you're like, man, I got to make some changes, you have a choice to make, right? And the thing is that with our customers coming to Legacy Farmer, we're not interested in changing people. We are interested in transforming people, and transformation is hard. It's extremely hard, and it's time consuming, and you have to be consistent and persistent. You have to face adversity day after day after day. But the problem is people are often looking for quick changes, and that's just like a quick fix, right? And quick fixes don't last, right? I was watching Landman the other week. If you haven't watched that show, I love that show. Anyways, there was a quote in it. He said, the shortcut always ends up being the longest road anyway. The shortcut is like a change in life. Everybody's looking for quick changes here, but it always doesn't work out in the long end, right? It does not get, it may give you what you need right now, but it doesn't give you the long-term benefits. Where when it comes to transformation, we have a proven process that we use inside of Legacy Farmer. The process is literally based on years because it takes years to transform somebody. You see, just by knowing the numbers and then also too reviewing the numbers, becoming a student of the numbers, learning to use the numbers in different scenarios that you're going to face, that takes time. But when it comes to transformation, you're trying to transform the person internally as well, which impacts every area of core 4, like body, being, balance, and business. And the work that we do in Legacy Farmer, it's not easy. It's hard. It's time consuming. You're going to face adversity. But the question is, though, is like, okay, is 2025 going to be the year that you lose everything and literally your legacy dies with you? Like, that's a massive fear that people have. And again, I say that there's so much weight to that, but you have to decide. And we all have that decision to make. Are you sick and tired of where you've been? Are you sick and tired of the problems and the challenges or having to term out debt every single year because you just have consistent losses? Or are you ready to finally make some freaking changes inside of your life and literally build something that you can be proud to pass on to your kids, knowing the sacrifices, the challenges, the adversity, the transformation that you had to go through in order to build the operation? You see, that's the cool stuff. That's the stuff that gets me excited. That's the type of work that we do inside of Legacy Farmer. And yes, we use our software called Farmer Metrics, which is going to help you get structured and organized. You are literally going to know your numbers at the deepest level. You are going to be in the top 1% of farmers in this country. And I say that with absolute certainty because we've done this hundreds of times with farmers and ranchers from across the country. We've seen the results time and time again. We know exactly what our process is going to produce for you inside of your operation. Now, are we promising that it's going to be easy? No, I'm not promising that. Getting the numbers structured and organized actually is pretty easy, but dealing with and transforming the person after that, that's where it gets hard. That's where the process really starts to challenge somebody. And ultimately, that's when people are going to have to decide, like, hey, am I building this for long term? Because if I am, I need to be committed to this transformational process. If I just want a quick hit and a quick fix and I really just looking for a shortcut, well, you're looking for changes there, and changes aren't going to last long, which is why inside the Legacy Farmer, we are only interested in transformation. And so guys, at the end of the day, You have to decide who you're going to become in 2025 and whether or not you're going to let this wolf that you feel is right there breathing on your neck ultimately win. And the tough decision here is that, are you going to be the one that lets the family legacy die with you? So my friends, if you do not want that to happen and you are literally ready to transform your business and yourself as the business owner, then click the link below. You can sign up for a free trial inside of our software called Farmer Metrics. And inside of that, there's going to be a detailed training program leading you step by step through how to get your numbers structured and organized. And this is where we're going to show you the roadmap to changing your family farm operation and ultimately your legacy for years to come.